Welcome to Velocity City, where you get to know about all the exciting news and updates about our beloved sport, Formula 1. Today we will discuss how Nyck de Vries was fired mid-season from Red Bull, the parent company of AlphaTauri. We will discuss in detail what the future holds for Nyck. We will also talk about the driver who replaced de Vries. We will discuss in detail about everything, but before we get started, be sure to subscribe and press the bell icon to get regular updates from Velocity City. Let's get started. Daniel Ricciardo, the 34-year-old Australian Formula 1 driver who was released by McLaren last year, will race for Red Bull's sister team AlphaTauri for the rest of the 2023 season. Ricciardo will make his debut for AlphaTauri at the Hungarian Grand Prix on July 23rd. Ricciardo's loan to AlphaTauri is temporary, as Red Bull has not yet announced its plans for the 2024 season. However, the fact that Ricciardo is being loaned for the year rather than this season suggests that he's not in Red Bull's long-term plans. He is said to be happy with the move to AlphaTauri, seeing it as an opportunity to return to winning ways. He has struggled to perform at McLaren since joining the team in 2021, and he hopes that a change of scenery will help him rediscover his form. He tweeted, "Race week, haven't said that in a while, cool." Daniel Ricciardo's arrival at AlphaTauri comes at the expense of Nyck de Vries, who was dropped after failing to impress in his rookie season. The 28-year-old Dutchman failed to score a single point in 10 races and was outperformed by his younger teammate Yuki Tsunoda. De Vries' departure blows his hopes for a long-term Formula 1 career. AlphaTauri team principal Franz Tost said, "I'm pleased to welcome Daniel back into the team. There's no doubt about his driving skill and he already knows many of us, so his integration will be easy and straightforward. The team will also profit a lot from his experience, as he's an 8-time Formula 1 Grand Prix winner. I would like to thank Nyck for his valuable contribution during his time with Scuderia AlphaTauri, and I wish him all the best for the future." The decision to terminate Nyck de Vries' contract was not unexpected, as he had failed to live up to the expectations placed on him by Helmut Marko. Red Bull had signed de Vries hoping to replicate his strong performance at Monza last year when he finished 8th as a substitute for Alex Albon. However, de Vries has been unable to replicate that form in the current season and was eventually dropped in favour of Daniel Ricciardo. The timing of the decision was certainly a surprise, as de Vries' home race in the Netherlands was just weeks away. However, Red Bull felt it necessary to make the change to give Ricciardo the best chance of success in the second half of the season. We expected him to at least be equal to his teammate Yuki Tsunoda this year, but that was not the case. Actually, he was always 0.3 of a second slower. We didn't see any improvement. He's 28 years old, has a lot of experience, and has also been able to gain a lot of knowledge as a test driver in various Formula 1 cars. You can't compare him to a young rookie in my eyes, Marko said. De Vries' experience was a double-edged sword for Red Bull. On the one hand, he had a wealth of experience in single-seater racing, including Formula 2 and Formula E. He had also raced in a Formula 1 car before and had been involved in more tests than any other rookie in the sport. This gave him a significant advantage over his rivals. On the other hand, de Vries' experience also meant that he had high expectations to live up to. He had been the Formula 2 champion and won the Formula E championship. This put much pressure on him to perform well in Formula 1, and he ultimately did not live up to those expectations. A fan made an interesting comment, implying that it is AlphaTauri's fault to fire Nyck. He tweeted, "If somebody looked at Nyck de Vries for one 80-minute race last year, suddenly decided they really wanted Nyck de Vries, got Nyck de Vries, and then almost immediately decided that, nah, Nyck de Vries ain't it. Should it really be Nyck de Vries who's getting fired?" The problem for Red Bull was that de Vries did not show the potential to improve from where he was. His teammate Yuki Tsunoda constantly outpaced him, and he made several mistakes that cost him points. As a result, Red Bull decided to replace him with Daniel Ricciardo. At the end of April in Baku, he started the weekend well and I thought he was going to perform better, but then he crashed again. He unfortunately didn't do one super lap that we were amazed by, said Marko. Helmut Marko, known for his blunt and sometimes harsh assessments of drivers, said that Nyck de Vries did not have the speed to be competitive in Formula 1. "We had to do something. Why should we wait, and what do 2 more races matter if you don't see any improvement? Nyck is a very pleasant guy, but the speed just wasn't there," said Marko. At 28 years old, Nyck de Vries was no longer seen as a driver who could be shaped into a Formula 1 star. AlphaTauri had assessed his potential over 10 race weekends and decided he did not have what it takes to compete at the highest level. As a result, they had replaced him with Daniel Ricciardo. Helmut Marko, the head of Red Bull's driver development program, doubts that De Vries will get another chance in Formula 1. He believes that De Vries is better suited to a series like the World Endurance Championship, where experience and consistency are more important than raw speed. Another F1 seat will be difficult, I think, but at the same time I do think he saw this coming. I think he can build a nice career in long-distance racing, said Marko. Nick De Vries' Formula 1 career may be over, but he has many other options. He has a successful career in endurance racing, having won the 6 Hours of Fuji and finished on the podium at the 8 Hours of Bahrain and on the 6 Hours of Monza. He could also return to Formula E, where he is the defending champion. There is also IndyCar and rally driving if he wants a change of pace. In short, De Vries will not struggle to find a drive elsewhere. He is a talented driver with a proven track record, and there are many teams that would be interested in signing him. Nick De Vries was spotted meeting with Mercedes boss Toto Wolff in a cafe just 24 hours after being ousted from AlphaTauri. The two men have known each other for years, and De Vries most likely turned to Wolff for counselling. De Vries worked as a test driver for Mercedes before moving to AlphaTauri, and the team still sees him as a potential future star. However, he will have to fight Mick Schumacher for the spot on Wolff's left shoulder if he wants to return to the Formula 1 grid. Nick De Vries has found himself in an uncomfortable situation after old comments resurfaced when he stated that Lando Norris and Alex Albon were not superior to him during their Formula 2 days. These remarks have resurfaced following his recent sacking from AlphaTauri and have led to some criticism of De Vries. He stated, "I do not want to be arrogant at all, but Norris and Albon were in my eyes really no better than me. Norris won only 1 race, Albon won 4, and I won 3. In 2019, Nick De Vries made comments that have resurfaced in light of his recent sacking from AlphaTauri. In these comments, De Vries reflected on his competition against Lando Norris and Alex Albon in Formula 2, expressing his belief that they were not significantly better than him. The irony of De Vries' statement has been noted by fans and followers, given the recent performance of Norris and Albon in Formula 1. However, it is ridiculous to judge De Vries' current abilities based on comments he made 3 years ago. Nick De Vries' comments about Lando Norris and Alex Albon in 2018 are understandable, given that he finished only 10 points behind Albon and 17 behind Norris in the Formula 2 Championship that year. However, it is ridiculous that AlphaTauri would base their decision to sign De Vries on a single race, such as his excellent performance at Monza last year. It is even more baffling that they would drop him just a few months into the season. This decision indicates a larger problem in Formula 1, where teams are often too quick to make impulsive decisions based on short-term results. This is a nonsensical way to run a team, and it will only hurt the sport in the long run. That's it. What do you think the future holds for Nick? Did AlphaTauri make the right decision? What are your thoughts? Tell us in the comments section below.